And I did work at the airport.
And you did. Of
I
course
worked
you
for
did.
American Airlines.
Because you. Welcome back to
In Development.
Development. As you can tell, we are in development. Because look, we got a new setup.
Period.
Isn't this so cute? This is not the painting it's going to be, by the way. There's obviously some empty ones. This is not done all the way. So just understand it's for the vibes, for the in development vibes.
I love it. I love it.
And you know what I realized last time? We never introduce ourselves.
Oh, really?
And
yeah.
Oh, really? We never introduce ourselves. So I'm Evelyn, and
I'm Kevin Green Marshall.
oh, yeah, we have to establish that.
Period.
But this is Ev, and in development. Boom. Let's move on.
I feel like I've had to, have to come to realize, I guess, this week, because I had a job this week, and it was a little bit, well, not a little, it was way out of my comfort zone, but I felt like it would be good exposure, and then also I feel like just having a more diverse portfolio, showing that you can do different things. I feel like that,
He took a job he probably didn't really want to. Like let's in less words.
yeah.
And we all do it. I've done some crazy shoots where I'm like, I don't want anyone to see it. And sometimes your agents actually will be like, hey, babe, we know that this is like odd.
Yeah.
We don't have to put this in your book. We don't have to put this anywhere. We don't have to let anyone know. But like, I think you should take it just for the money. Or I think you
Yeah.
should take it just because they're a good client,
Yeah.
So, and good exposure again. So
Yeah.
it's okay.
It's just, I just felt like, it would have been an interesting topic to talk about, because a lot of people, I guess, assume that with modeling you have to take every job that you're offered. But like one thing, like the new agency that I'm with has like said with me is like, you want to make sure what you're doing is like aligned with your brand.
Yeah.
Like if it's something that you don't think you should be affiliated with, or you won't look good or wouldn't do good for your brand, then it's okay to decline that.
Yeah.
I've never done a music video before, so
And might as well. Like, honestly,
Yeah.
most of the time, even if I don't like the brand or like whatever, I don't like the clothes or what I'm wearing or whatever, I just like, I'm not doing anything else.
Yeah.
Like, what am I
Literally.
doing? So
Literally, and I was like, it's learning like those things, and it was a principal role too. So I was like, it's not like I'm doing anything background. Like,
yeah,
no shade
you
to
look up
background.
in the front.
I was up in the front, but
Yeah.
who knows if I'm gonna let y'all see the video?
No, and that's fine. And also, people have this misconception of modeling that like you get to choose the clients you work for. Like, people be like, oh, or when you tell them you model, who do you model for?
Yeah.
Always, who do you
Yeah.
model? No, like it's like an agency, and then they connect me with other people, or I connect with all these brands, and they're like, wait, so you don't get to pick like what you want to do?
Yeah.
Or even worse, when they're like confused that you don't get to take home any of the clothes. You don't get to take home anything.
Like, unless you're literally superstar, supermodel, they're paying you boohoo bucks to be there, then they'll send a car for you to be there. But
Yeah,
we don't got no riders over here. But
But speaking of that job, did you want to talk about like a little bit
yes,
of the experience?
yes. So this job was very interesting to me, because, like I said, I was a principal role, but I didn't really know what the whole video was about because I was submitted for something else. And this happened to me a couple times where you get submitted for something, but it's the same casting company, and they're like, we don't want you doing this, but we think you would be great for this. And sometimes it could be more money too. So you just really never know where your self-tapes and all that stuff will end up.
Literally seen by who knows.
Literally. And so they asked me, they were like, would you be okay doing an 80s style rock video? And I'm like, okay, sure.
Freak
like,
it, dude.
there was black people in the 80s. I'm sure they listened to rock. And so they sent me they were like, the fitting is tomorrow. And it was in Glendale. If you don't know LA area, Glendale is
Far.
up north.
Very
and,
far.
During rush hour, it's going to be hell to
3
get
hours,
out of the mountains. Yeah.
anywhere.
Literally. And so drove to Glendale, and I'm thinking that I'm going into an industrial building because that's where most fittings are.
Yeah. Video thing.
Yeah. And so I'm going, I see Glendale, never been to Glendale before. I'm like, oh, these are some nice houses. But then I end up going up a hill with all these big mansions, and I'm like, okay, where the building at? Where the building at? And then the address, it stops right in front of this big house that's gated and has all these fences on it and locks and stuff. And I'm like, I don't want to get shot. I don't want to walk up to these people's door. I am from the South. I'm not from here. I don't know these
color
areas.
on your skin, you gotta watch out.
Literally,
in those rich neighborhoods.
literally. But I saw somebody standing outside. Was like, are you with the production people with this, and he was like, oh no, like I was in a band in the 80s, I'm friends with the artist, like he wants inspo from me. And I was like, okay, cool. And he was like, he's gonna come real soon. And then the artist showed up. He's the lead singer of this band, and he has a big ass house. Like, it was nice.
They always do.
It was
so
nice. I
to
was
shoot
like,
in those
ooh.
houses. You
Yes.
start getting inspiration of like, oh, like I didn't know you could heat pebble floors like that throughout
Yes,
your whole
like,
house.
I didn't know we had it like that.
I didn't know
like,
your bathroom could open up in the roof.
literally.
Like, what the hell?
Yeah, and so, you know, I get in there, we start the fitting, and I realize I'm the only one being fit, like, outside of the band members. So at this point, I'm a little confused. And I'm
Yeah.
like, you know, where's the
You
other
thought you were
people at?
background, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, where are the other people at? Like, why am I here at his house doing this? But it was real nice, chill. He part of the video,
fitting,
yeah, the
not- just
fitting
wait.
was chill. But part of I found out that I was going to be a band member and I needed to pretend playing the guitar. So
Oof. You're like, okay, how do I?
yeah, I didn't
just
even
like
know.
randomly have to figure it out.
Literally, but this is the crazy part. I didn't even know how to hold it. I didn't know how nothing.
Nothing?
And he like showed me like how to do everything, and then he just let me play with his guitars.
That's
and I
sick,
was like,
actually.
oh my god,
That's really
like,
nice.
Literally, I felt like a rock star. Like, so I was like, wow, this is so cool. But anyway, so the shoot happens a couple of days later, and I get there. I knew I was wearing a wig at the for the video.
It's actually pretty cool. I think it looked cool as fuck. Like you look like you should be in like an 80s movie.
I did eat that wig up.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie. But yeah, I knew I was wearing a wig, but what I did not know was that I was gonna have a red lip too.
Oh, I did see that.
I had a red
the
lip.
makeup. It
The
gets a little
makeup,
crazy.
yes. We start shooting it, and I'm doing the scene, and it was a good take. We only did like 2, and then after that, do the scene with the whole band, and then apparently everybody breaks for lunch. Apparently, like all the background people, production, everybody except a photographer and the band, the actual artists, because the band, if you don't know, like if it's your music video for
You're not eating.
yeah, it's like, you know, you're not being catered to unless you're like fucking Ariana Grande or somebody.
Yeah, like a huge person.
Yeah, but
But
everybody
even
else,
then, they will put off their own
Yeah,
meal
they'll
and be
put
like,
off-
no, we have work to do. I need to finish this.
Yeah,
It's always
exactly.
how it is.
But like for everybody else, like you're legally bound,
Yeah,
entitled
like
to certain
you're
things.
going to feed people.
Yeah, you're entitled to food if you're there for a good amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
And so they broke everybody else for lunch. I didn't know because my direction was, okay, we're going to take band pictures right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, still pictures. And I was like, okay, so we're taking the pictures. Everything's cool until we start in the photographer, before he even picks up his camera. Mind you, I'm the only black person on this set. This is the first time I've experienced this since being out here in LA. And he has the audacity to say to me, oh, Kevin, because, you know, obviously you're dark skinned, we're going to have to work harder to shoot you. I'm like, what the fuck is that supposed to mean?
So when he told me this, I literally was like, okay, like, I get what he's saying to an extent, right? But there's a way that you say that where you make it about lighting and not about the person's skin color.
Yeah.
And then also, like, your skill as a photographer is to make him seen.
Yeah.
You're the one looking at the screen. He can't see
Yeah.
what's going on the screen. So it's like, I don't know if he meant it in that way or if he wasn't thinking, but it's like, it's pretty
It's like,
obvious
is
that
it
that's
the-
something you could have not said in that
Yeah.
way at all, or
And
not
is
said
it
at all.
is it like the worst thing to say? No, but just
Yeah.
from
It's the
setting,
micro. It's like underneath. It's
Yeah.
like you can feel the energy
Yes.
too, and it's like not. Especially when you're the only person of color on a set.
the only person, and I, you know, around all these white people, which I can be around white people. I'm very,
Yeah, you know.
I can be around everybody, but it's just the fact, the time and place. Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna say this in front of everybody, and then what response do you want from me?
It's like a shameful thing. Of
Yeah,
like, my
like,
skin is darker.
oh, you're dark skinned. We're gonna have to work harder to shoot him. He's
Everybody!
dark skinned. Like, what? I've never had that happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then while we were shooting, like, it was in a hallway. I showed Evelyn the picture. It was in a hallway. It was really tight.
Super tiny.
Super
like,
tight. And so it was 5 of us trying to take a picture in that small hallway. And he kept telling me and this other guy, like, oh, we can't see you because we're
Mind you,
getting
you
blocked.
can only stagger in
Yeah.
in a small place. People have to be in front or behind.
Literally. And then mind you, all the other 4 guys are the actual band members.
He was the only one.
Yeah, I'm just posing in a. I don't even know why. I was just another band member. Like, I don't know why I was in that picture, but
Me either.
I don't even know. But my point is, I am not the artist. Like, this isn't my video.
You're not gonna hog the whole space.
Yeah, I'm not gonna push the lead singer out of the way so I can get into the frame. Like, what?
This is my
literally. Yeah, so he kept saying that. And then me and the other guy were just like, well, what do you want us to do? I was literally like, what do you want me to do? Like, you come and move everybody, position everybody. You have the camera. You can see everybody.
I'm glad you said something.
I did, because I was like, okay, he said that, and then he said this. I don't care who you worked with. Apparently, he worked with like Ozzy Osbourne, all these other people.
Right.
I don't care. Name a black person. So I don't care.
Give me that portfolio.
Yeah, literally. And so I don't care who you work with. I'm a very like humble person, and I'm also respectable too. But I'm not going to get ran over just because you're famous or you work with famous people or you have a good portfolio. I don't care.
Yeah.
Who are you outside of all this?
Exactly.
So, yeah, this was the first time I've had to experience any kind of racial
And it will not be the
anything.
last, babe. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you know, and I was just thinking about this, like, coming from the South, I am already used to, like, things like that, like microaggressions and stuff like that. And moving here to LA, I've definitely seen, like, more diversity
Yeah,
here.
it's way more inclusive.
Yeah, but then when you come into, like, the model world or the
pockets.
industry, it's
Yes.
like, I feel like I'm back in the South again. Like, the only black person here.
And you
I'm
know
the
what?
Diversity hire.
And
like,
even people of color in the industry will still, it's more of the ego attached. Like, because think about it, people from the South, it's their ego. They don't
Yeah.
even want to push past their own limiting beliefs for like a second to educate themselves to not be so hateful and weird. And it's kind of the same thing with people in the industry, but it just majority happens to be not people of color.
Yeah.
So, and then it makes, I don't know, it makes you feel uncomfortable when it's a big set where there's that many people and you're looking around and you're like, oh, like, okay. And then it makes you question, why am I here? And like, you know, and then it's like also like a token thing and like, well, you're our diverse.
Yeah.
You're the diversity. Welcome. Hey.
Oh, and there was another part I didn't even tell you, which it wasn't even too crazy, but it was just like all of this happening around the same time was just a little. So we break for something, and I go into like the dressing, makeup room, whatever, just to sit down because I didn't want to be out there. And then they call for me on set, or they're looking for me. And I think there was 2 people named Kevin, or I don't know, was there 2 people named
Probably.
Kevin? Something like that. But they were like, oh, we're looking for Kevin, the PA, we're looking for Kevin. And I just overheard, and
Kevin.
I was on my way walking out anyway, and somebody was like, who is Kevin? And then she was like, oh, the black guy. Yeah. As soon as she said that, I had walked up. I'm like, I'm right here. like I forgot to tell you that part. I'm like, part of me is like, okay, I am black, and
that's
the
the only
black
one,
guy.
right? Okay,
Yeah.
but still,
But still, all of this happening
The
around the
talent?
same time. Yeah,
the main talent,
Yeah.
the one with the red
Literally.
shirt, the one with the
one with
yellow
the big
hat,
ass wig,
the one with
on.
the fro, the one with the
Literally.
anything.
Literally, the black guy. That's what it said. So I'm just like, okay, I mean,
That
I
shit you
am
have
black.
to laugh off so you don't kill no one. Like,
Yeah, I mean-
that shit you have to just let, like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even get to the best part. Did I even say that I didn't even eat lunch until 5 o'clock?
Oh yeah, so you mentioned everyone was breaking and you were not.
Yeah.
With the band, yeah. Continue that.
Everybody broke. We've taken pictures, like I was talking about, over here fighting with the photographer. And then afterwards, we go right back to the set because everybody had their required amount of time off who legally needed it. But the artists, like, they don't, it's their video, they don't need to take time off if they don't need it. So they went straight back to set and we started shooting again. And we do like 3 more takes, and I'm standing next to this girl. And I'm like, dang, I'm dizzy. I'm a little hungry. And she's like, hungry? Like,
I'm dizzy is so
like,
scary.
I'm dizzy because I was hot and I'm over here acting like I'm playing the guitar, like really into it. I swear, when this video comes out, like, we'll
one
see.
hears again.
We'll see. But yeah, I'm like, I'm dizzy and I'm a little hungry. Like, I'm famished. It's like going on 5 o'clock. And she's like, you didn't eat? And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, everybody ate? At this point, I'm thinking everybody didn't eat.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, we had Jimmy John's right over there.
Not Jimmy John.
I go, look, It's 3 whole cartons and all of them are empty.
That's so greedy. I can't.
I said, oh,
People
hell
People
no.
are taking 2.
I said, oh, hell no. And so I kind of walked off the set a little bit, but we weren't shooting anything. And I went into the dressing room just to, like,
you have to cool down.
gather
you really
myself.
Do.
Yeah.
There's so many times I've blown up on sets where I know I did. And I would call my agent. I would call my mom. I would cry. Like, it was so overwhelming. I was very young at the time, so I didn't know how to handle anything, honestly. But I feel that you have to go separate yourself because you're like, I'm actually going to lose my mind on these people.
I had to walk off the set because I just had to gather myself. And I don't blame any of this on the artists themselves. They were really cool.
These are teams.
It was their team. And so the lead singer came to me and he was like, what's going on? Like, he just kept calling me buddy the whole day. Like, he was super nice. And so I was like, well, I haven't ate anything, like, and there's no food left. And he was like, oh my gosh, like.
And there's always, I promise you, as many as bad people as you're gonna meet on set, there's always gonna be someone on set. It's usually the makeup artist or hairstylist or like, it's mostly like, there's always going to be someone on a set though that's going to fight for you and make sure that you're good. And like, I do want to say that because we don't want to scare you into thinking like everyone's bad, you know?
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's like this situation where you kind of get looked over because you're just talent to them and you're just there and you're kind of just working class, babe.
Yeah, literally. And it would just show like how attentive he was, and he ended up getting me food so I could eat.
So kind.
Yes, so nice, so kind. I'm grateful for the experience, and I'm grateful to even been there, to, you know, pay my car payment, all this other, you know, paying the bills. But
you start realizing like the little things wrong, and then again you're like waiting on sets for hours. You're used to that though, but you're waiting on set for hours to shoot for 0.2 seconds.
0.2 seconds.
Actually 0.2. Like I'm not even exaggerating. They did that to us at Vogue World. It was like 4 days of just like waiting around for our turn to practice. So then
like y'all's part got like so much more practice than like
other
my
people's.
section. Like I remember like one time what the call time was like 6 or something, and I didn't even do anything till
like 1, 2.
after lunch. So it's just that sometimes, you know, you'll make friends on set.
But okay, it looks like we're getting another topic ringing in here.
Oh,
I'm kidding. Okay.
That was kind of cute though.
So I was posting on TikTok, if any of you guys follow me, about my financial situation, and it kind of blew up a little bit. Like, it's not blowing up, but you know, girl, it's getting a little bit of views. And I was posting my bank account. I had like $30. I told y'all 2 weeks ago. Well, a few videos ago, our first video, I was telling you guys I had like $180 to my name. Like, I'm scared. I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, and I was expecting X amount of money. And remember, I think last pod, I was like, oh, I woke up this Friday thinking I was gonna get it because my agency said, expect this money, expect this money. I want to be clear, my New York agency, not my LA agency. People have been trying to poach me. There's agencies in LA that keep reaching out to me like, hey, if you want new LA representation, we are so transparent about our finances. They keep telling me that. Really? I've had 3 different good agencies. I'm like, damn. I will never leave my LA agency ever. So I want to be clear. This was like New York money. And this happened I'm traumatized from my last New York agency. I will not say which one it was. It's pretty easy to find out. But, you know, I had a really, really bad taste in my mouth about them. And we ended up, you know, not working together anymore on both ends. Honestly, we both kind of let that go. But it was more of like fighting for my money in New York. It was always a thing for me. And I was talking to other girls, and it's like New York agencies or clients, they take longer to pay, and I'm not sure. I know that it just changed, like legally, I think, 30 days? 30 days, Thank God. But even then, who waits a full month for a check? Like,
even actors don't, like, because I just stumbled upon this, like, because I'm SAG eligible, so there's certain stuff, like, I want to know, and I was just reading up on it, and it's like, for certain things like voiceover projects, they have 8 days to pay you. Like,
you know, it's because they got to get that content out. So, like, why would you want to wait longer?
I was like, wow, modeling is really the only thing where you will wait
You wait 90 days, like the 90 days or more. So, long story short, because I don't want to spend too much time on it more than I did on TikTok, but eventually it ended up getting told to me about 4 days before rent was due that the money that I was expecting was actually just an incorrect. Like, it was wrong. It was written wrong.
It's just fake.
So it was just in my head. And, like, I was expecting this money that I shouldn't have been expecting. They explained it. They broke it down for me. Eventually, they ended up saying it boiled down to commission and taxes. I want to make it very clear. I did not know this. When they say you get 10K plus 20% agency fee, no. They get 20% agency fee from client and 20% commission from you.
What?
I just discovered that. After 9 years, 40, it's essentially 40%. It's technically not. Technically, it's not. They're getting that plus 20%. When that says that, I thought that's what they get, and I get my 10K.
They're getting, yeah.
No, they get the 20% from client and
they
my
take
commission from my 10K, bitch. Oh. What the fuck? So I lost my mind. This is how I am as a person, and I'm learning and I'm growing. I'm trying, girl, but I am losing it. So I lost it. That day I found out that the New York agency accidentally put my last name that I have nowhere for a lot of reasons, like a lot of reasons. They put my last name as my name, and it's been like that for about 8 months since I've been signed. And to me, that felt like a really almost like impossible mistake of you see that that's nowhere to be found. You look my name up online, models.com, Google, it does not come up. You look up Evelyn Rain, I'm everywhere. My models.com says that. My other agency says that. I have a stage name. When you sign on the contract, it says, what is your stage name? And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that wasn't written in that one because I don't remember that contract, but I know for sure it's in my mother agency contract, and it should have been
it's in mine.
It should have been communicated, and it should have been obvious. It should have been seen. Also, the photo they had, nothing against them. The photo they had is from when I'm 18, I think. But I don't mind it because some of them are fire. I'm like, okay, period. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
And they're booking me so much. So I do want to say I'm grateful for them because they're booking me so much. But it's like, I had to communicate to them, like, I'm so stressed out. But when I saw that money situation email where it's like, oh, girl, it's all messed up. This wasn't supposed to be happening. You don't get that money. You're not getting that money. My LA agency had to give me an advance, which stay tuned for the keyword. We will explain what that means.
An advance is money loaned by a modeling agency to a model to cover expenses for usually 5% extra commission. This is essentially a loan, which the model is responsible for paying back. The agency deducts this amount from the model's earnings once they are paid.
My LA agency, so it was a mess. And seeing that last name thing, it was about 9 p.m. LA time. I called my New York agent, and I literally am yelling at her. And I just want to be real about it. But with me, I felt so disrespected by everything going on that I wanted the disrespect I was giving to be just as loud. And she didn't understand at the time. I've received death threats before. People finding out where my mom works, people finding out where my mom lives and threatening my family, knowing that had been out there for 8 months and that people just know it.
And it was like, and like to the severity of it, before I even met her, I saw one of the videos that you were talking about that like people were just going crazy over. And so I hadn't even met her at this point. So imagine like just random people like are just crazy
and having access to that, and like you find out through my videos where I live and like shit like that scares me, you know. So they didn't understand what I was so upset about. I think it doesn't excuse me yelling at my agent. Obviously I wasn't being respected. I felt like no one was listening to me. I had been emailing for 3 months about this payment. You guys are telling me it's on the way. Do you understand how delusional that, like, what?
Yeah.
Go check your mail. Go check your mail. That is the like delusion level of like expecting this X amount of money that you're like, oh, never mind, 4 days before rent is due. Mind you, I felt even more disrespected because there was no apology. Not once in the email was there, and I'm sorry, can we help you? Until I got on the phone with the agent and she said, you let me know if there's anything I can do. You know, it was after the fact. It was after I had to get how I got.
Yeah.
And I'm actually really happy that this happened, and I'm glad I'm talking about it because I want them to understand, and not saying that this is how you get someone to understand, okay? But like, this is who I am. I am a very expressive person, and I can't stand feeling like people who hear my story, know what I've been through, or are supposed to support me and help me don't. When they tell me they've got me and they don't, it's a big trigger for me. Huge. And I think it's really important that this agency knew that about me, because my LA agency has grasped that already, and they treat me like I'm a daughter to them. And they treat me with care. And I know that that's not something everyone's privileged with, but I'm expecting that from the New York agency. So I think it came down to like we need to get to know each other better because I don't trust them. I don't trust anyone. I don't trust anyone in this industry. I tell the LA agency this too, and they respect it because they're like, you know what? There's nothing that we can do. I have my own things outside of it, but sometimes it's hard to trust people in this industry, and I have to make it very known because I'm so scared of New York after what happened at my last agency. And we can go into it another time, but long story short, they ended up telling me I owed them money after leaving. No one emailed me a goodbye. No one said anything. It was like a whole thing, okay? And it was a very scary experience for me. And I get scared because I end up broke in these situations and no one wants to help me. And everyone knows I'm eating at Dollar Tree and nobody cares. So it's like, I don't know. I'm glad that it's over now and that we've established this like level of respect with each other now and understanding of like how to handle me as a model and as a person, because I'm really burnt out from this industry and being treated that way. So, and at the end of the day, I was even saying like, if I don't have to be signed with anyone, I'll do something else. I'm at that point, and I love modeling and everything that it does to me and makes me feel, and the confidence it gives me, and the people I meet. But after a while, you're kind of just like, what more can I do other than like I'm exhausted mentally, you know? So I'm glad that you're just starting now at an age where it's probably easier to grasp these things and understand that not everything is personal, and that, you know, there's a level of trust that needs to be built. And like I was thrown in it so young, and I didn't have time to process, I think, like everything that's happened over the last 9 years.
I can't imagine like starting modeling at like 15 or 16 or 14 even, like, or even like 12, because I see people
Bentley started at like 12 or something.
Lord,
10.
I can't
Shout out you,
imagine
Bentley.
like, you know, I was having jobs, but like I feel like it's a lot of pressure and just
I was a server, babe.
navigating it.
Can I say it?
Yeah,
Modeling is harder, acting is harder, music industry is harder,
Honestly,
entertainment industry is harder, and you can complain to your mom, not to me, because
like you have to have a lot of balls. Like,
I was a server, I was a barista, and a bartender all at once, babe. There's a level of dealing with people, sure, it fucking sucks. It really sucks. There's a lot about the service industry that's horrible. It's top 3 probably hardest jobs, honestly. But I think modeling, acting, entertainment industry is harder.
yeah,
And it's the financial aspect, it's the mental aspect, it's the physical aspect, it's everything.
it's like you're always working for more. Like
You're always on, too.
Yes, it's like you're always trying to get to the next level, and it's just constant. Like that can be tiring. Like even for me, like, because I do, but like I said in the other videos, like I try to keep my avenues open, like to get how
Modeling
much
work.
money I can get.
And just the mental strength, it's such a mental game.
Yeah.
And I've let it destroy me, honestly. I've let it destroy me, and I've let it build me up again, and then destroy me again, and then build me up again. It's like these levels. That's why I had to explain to my New York agency, like, right now it feels really bad. Like I don't feel good mentally. And she kind of, I think, understood like why the blow up happened, because it's so much at once. She's like, you're literally asked to perform while you're like this, so it's like it's not gonna feel good for you. So but it's gonna go back and forth for everyone. It's like it's never just like a constant up. You know. And on this topic, speaking of like modeling being a hard job or whatever, I wanted to read this comment. I want to get your live reaction to this.
Gosh, here we go.
Let's be real. Modeling is a luxury job that many would dream of having. If you're complaining about your financial situation, take a step back and recognize how fortunate you are. Many hardworking Americans grind daily to make a living in jobs that demand far more effort and time for far less pay. Instead of whining online, consider that you've chosen a path that allows you more freedom and time compared to countless others. If budgeting is a challenge, that's on you, not the world, not the agency. Complaining won't change your circumstances. Hard work and a proper mindset will. If I were in an agency or a client, I wouldn't want to hire someone like this who doesn't appreciate their privilege. Time to embrace the opportunities right in front of you and stop the negativity. Appreciate your job for what it is, and maybe consider getting another job like millions of Americans have to do. Your struggle is not special.
Ugh, that just sounds like a I want to be you type thing. Like you're
So
doing
much
what
to
I want to
unpack.
do. Like,
And even if it's not that, It's almost
just
like,
ignorant.
babe, who told you your struggle wasn't special?
Yeah. And
Someone
then-
said something similar to you to make you feel like your problems were so little that you thought your whole mindset shifted to thinking that, oh, everyone's problems are so small. There's
Yeah.
people that have it worse. And mind you, that mentality is good to have to an extent. To an extent, okay? Like, you can't sit there and diminish things you've been through or your own hardships because someone else seems like they have it worse. You also don't know everyone's life,
Yeah.
what everyone goes through on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
But in general, I want you to know, and I'm going to say it loud and clear, modeling is not a luxurious job. The entertainment industry is not luxurious. Girl, we get our makeup and our hair done, but that's about the most luxurious thing about it. A little face massage in the fucking morning.
Yeah, I think people don't understand because I get it to a point where it's like when
We
you
got
think of a
people
mom,
saving lives. We got
Yeah.
nurses here, right? We've
I mean-
got people, we've got freaking surgeons doing brain surgery. We get it.
I get it to a point, but I also think people just don't understand. Like when you hear of a model, everybody instantly thinks of supermodels.
And it's
There
a
is
job.
a small, super small pool of supermodels. The majority, there's a lot of models, but the
It's a
majority, like it's a job. Like there are some tiers in different jobs where you make more money and then you have more freedom. It could be based off experience, like going from a resident to being general surgeon, all that stuff. Like
We're working 10-hour, 12-hour days.
yeah, and it's
Do you do that at freaking, working as a teacher? Do you do
Yeah.
that working as a, sometimes even nurses don't work
Yeah.
that long. Sometimes it depends on your schedule and where you are, of course.
Yeah.
But like that, those are long ass days and you're standing up the whole time. You're
Yeah.
changing 110 times in a day. 100. I'm not exaggerating.
Yeah.
Ecom is 100, could be 100 outfits, could be 50, whatever. But think about that, changing 100 times. Really think about it. Think about the mental of being on, like we're talking about being on. Like, same thing with any other job, though. You're going to have struggles in any other job. You can't sit there and point a
Yeah.
finger and be like, but you have a luxurious one. You have more time. Where's the time?
and that part, that's what I wanted to talk about too, because for me, like I have another career that I actually did work in, and I would work 3 days a week out of what, how many days? 7. I would work 3 days a week. So me working as a nurse, I had more time when I was working as a nurse.
Because when you're modeling, we're working right now. We're
yeah.
working every single. No, we're actually working. But no, we are working all the time because they could call you in 2 seconds, be like, "Hey, you need to be out here in 3 hours
Yeah,
for this
da, da,
job."
da.
You're on call 24/7, and then on top of that, you're gonna go work that 10, 12-hour day. Oh, and then after that, you're gonna go fly to New York. Oh, and then you're gonna shoot as soon as you land in the morning. After you're done shooting, you're gonna come back on the plane. You're gonna fly back to LA, and you have a test shoot the next day. Like all these things, and it's like you have no idea when that's happening, so it feels like all the time.
And then when it is happening, like you got to let it happen. Like you got to be with it. Because
Yeah.
when it's not happening, it's not.
Exactly.
So, and then another thing is like, even with nursing, like here in California, like a good nursing year on average is like 100,000 a year, which
That's a good modeling year.
But like a good modeling year, so, like a year that somebody would say like, oh, I had a good year this year modeling is probably 100,000. Like, so it's like really like how
Haven't
much
had that
more are
in
you making?
3 years.
Yeah. So it's like, how much more are you making? Like, it's not like supermodels, they may make, boohoo money, but that's all you see. Like, even with acting too, you see the big actors, but there's so, like, when you watch a movie again, look at how many roles there
Background,
are. There's so many. Like,
everything.
background, you can get hired for an acting job, and you're in a TV show, and you have 2 lines, but you're only getting paid minimum that day, which is, I think, only like $1,000, I think, for that one job for that one day.
Still really decent.
It sounds
money.
good, but that might be your one job for that whole month.
The whole month, yeah.
Yeah, so it's
It's
like
decent for the one job,
yeah,
not
And-
decent for a living.
And mind you had to go through hoops to even get that position to even say that one line. So it's just like with a regular job, you don't have to constantly keep pushing yourself out there and presenting yourself and getting people pitching you. And
Yeah.
you don't have to do that. You just come, show up, and go home.
Social media, everything.
Yeah,
everything.
it's a lot that goes into it. So I can understand if you're not in the inside, you might see it a certain type of way. Oh, don't know how to spend money, don't know how to budget. But when you actually look at the whole thing, it's like,
It's not my fault.
yeah, nobody.
I can't. What can I do? And then I go get a side job. Oh, look, you don't have time for these jobs. That's what happened when I was serving. I was prioritized serving. I would prioritize serving because I needed that consistent income.
Yeah.
I don't want to lose my hours. I would bail on thousands of dollars just to go to my serving shift because I needed the rest of the week. I have something kind of cool that happened.
Oh, okay.
Ring ring. I'm good. I went to go see, my boyfriend has a friend, Rio Amore. She's a DJ. And we had she had a little set, her little headline set. Okay. And we went to that, and I was walking around the theater at the Fonda in LA, and there was a girl that like ran up to me as I was walking to the water, and she's like, hey, she's like, can I get a selfie? She didn't ask my name. She didn't say anything. So I was kind of confused. And I was like, what? And she's like, can I get a selfie? I feel bad. I was genuinely like, what?
Yeah.
And she was like, can I get a selfie? And I was like, do I know you? Like, how do you know me? She's like, oh, I follow you on TikTok. Like, can I get a selfie? And so I took a selfie with her. So shout out to you, Skylar. Because that was pretty cool. You were the first person to ever ask me for a selfie.
I love that.
People have recognized me in public, but they'll be like, oh, like I've seen your videos, like you have really pretty hair. It's always about my hair, always.
Yes.
You have really pretty hair, like you're so tall in person. Like some people have said that. It's only been, I think, maybe 3 to 4 people. So for her, it was like the first one that ever took a picture. So I thought that was sick. I was like,
love
baby.
That is so cute. And at the Fonda is like iconic.
It was the first, Nasty Gal was the first event I ever technically went to. I was 16. And it was at the Fonda. So it was a really big full circle moment. I met like my favorite YouTuber there. I met Debbie Ryan, Sky Jackson there. And those were the first celebrities I ever got pictures with. So I thought it was really crazy that that's exactly where I was.
Yeah.
What, 10 years later?
Yeah. And if you don't know, like the Fonda in LA, like just like the Greek, those are like venues that a lot of big artists had their first shows at. Like even Billie Eilish had her first show
over there.
over there.
It's a super nice theater. Like, and honestly, Rio killed that shit. Like, I don't know if you saw any videos or clips or
I saw some
anything.
on TikTok.
Oh my god. And like, she's.
Period.
Do you think she's attractive? I have to ask.
I mean, I think women are attractive.
But like, because of the way she presents herself, right? Like, because I think she's attractive.
I'm not like
Attracted to her.
yeah.
Okay.
But love her energy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just curious how that works. Like, if
Yeah.
you know, if a more mask presenting girl, like, would you think that they're like, not like attractive, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Honestly, like this might
has
be
that ever
like,
had? Like, has that ever made you feel something?
No, it makes me feel like worse.
Oh.
I want a real man.
Right. Okay.
So, like-
so the girly aspect of it is like.
Yeah, like the girl, like I'm not saying like I can't be friends with studs.
Yeah.
Like, my cousin is basically a stud. So, and shout out to her. She's
Shout
playing
out, like, shout
basketball
out to
in
her cousin.
Australia right now. Plug it. But yeah, it's I can't. But
I'm attracted to her. I have to say it.
I can see how. Like Kehlani, like
She's attractive
when
too.
she was back in her you know, her before she was like hardcore lesbian, like she had like a
In
nice
between.
little, and back then like she had rocking the hair, she was giving real, like I saw her perform a couple times, and I
Yeah.
was like, wow, like Baylani, like what? But that's the most that I'll feel. It's just like
There's very like I think women are attractive. I always say this, like I'm attracted to women physically, the way they look, but it's always the thought of like kissing them or like anything physical, which is like I'm sure how you feel about women.
Yeah.
So that's how I know I'm straight. And it kind of sucks. Like I actually cuz like
Yeah.
there's women like Rio though actually where I'm like, damn.
ooh.
Where I'm like I'm like
Yeah.
But then again, she looks just like my boyfriend. I'm not gonna lie. So people tell them that because they've
my
modeled
God.
together. I could actually like probably post a TikTok about that. That's so
Oh
funny.
my gosh.
But I told him, like I told her, I was like, you guys look alike. Like,
Oh
so
my
that might be
gosh.
why.
Yeah.
But dang, I was like,
That is so funny.
I wish, man, I wish.
So, you know, I'm celibate right now. Shout out to all the celibate people out there. And I coincidentally, I haven't had the urge to be with anybody ever since I got really sick like a month ago. And I'm not really looking for a boyfriend right now. I'm really just focused on myself. I'm really loving myself right now. Just being in a new environment, taking that in, and, you know, going through life that way.
I know a lot of people on TikTok are actually talking about being celibate. It's kind of cool.
Yeah,
I'm like,
like,
are we valuing our
it feels
bodies
empowering.
again?
It feels empowering. Like, I want to be more intentional with
who
I
with.
choose and why I choose to, and I just feel like I'm just at that point right now. And then
I'm not gonna lie, sometimes even I'm in a full-blown relationship, and sometimes I'm just not into it for a minute. And
Yeah.
neither is my boyfriend, where it's like there's other things going on in
Yeah.
life for a second where you're like, okay, a little bit of time can pass. Like, it's not, I don't know, I feel like everyone thinks it's like the biggest point in a
Yeah.
relationship or situationship, and it's actually like kind of not.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's nice when you reconnect after like, you know, a while,
Yeah.
and like you're like, okay, this
Yeah.
feels right to do it right now.
Yeah, and that's basically what the type timing I'm on. Like, I want to go on dates. I want to be.
I like
know,
the romance of it.
Yeah,
Like,
I
that's
want-
what gets me going.
Yeah, exactly.
On that note,
Yeah. Clock that T.
I guess thank you for joining us for our fourth episode?
Oh yeah, is it?
Third? Fourth? Embarrassing. Ooh, we're in development, bitch. Sorry.
It's one of the, yeah, literally, it's one or the other.
But we'll see you next Saturday.
Bye, y'all. Be safe.
Bye.